Well, the Mountaineers go down to the Texas Tech Red Raiders in what was a very important game for this basketball team for their March Madness NCAA Tournament hopes. All is not lost yet, but man, this game would have went a long way in helping West Virginia get to the big dance, but they fall 70-63 to the Red Raiders. Welcome to this live post-game edition of Couz's Corner as we react to the Mountaineers' loss. I've got a few thoughts on the top of my head, and then we'll talk about stats here as we go through as well. But when you look at this game, a few things that stand out. Obviously, I'm going to touch on Ross Hodge for a minute. I think when you watch these two teams play, it's pretty obvious that Texas Tech has a pretty major advantage from a roster standpoint, okay? Man to man, just about, at most positions. I'm not going to say across the board, but in most positions, West Virginia was outmatched in this game. Yet you lose by 7 to a team who shoots the basketball from 3 at a 54% clip for the game and shot it over 70% in the first half. And yet you only lose by 7. That's a pretty darn good performance by this coach, in my opinion. I mean, there were things out there these players could have done better from an execution standpoint that could have won this won this basketball game for the Mountaineers. This was a winnable game despite, I know it never seemed that way, but they kept it within 2 possessions for a long, down the stretch of the game within the final minute. It was doable. But none of that is possible, in my opinion, without some of the strings Ross Hodge pulled, just getting his guys in the right spots, just keeping them motivated. They played hard to the very end of the game, to the very last, to the horn sounded. And a lot of that comes down to coaching. And I just want to lay that out there. I know there are going to be a lot of fans get on the internet and say, Coach Ross Hodge needs fired. And I just personally think that's absolute dog garbage, dog crap, whatever you want to say. It's just, and if you disagree with me, I'm sorry. I just respectfully disagree. I just think it's hogwash, man. Ross Hodge is a good basketball coach. He just needs to get the right guys in to fit what he wants to do. Now, I don't agree with 100% of everything he does. I don't like the slow pace of his offense. I think at times that actually hurts the team. Because when you have a team that struggles to score and the other team shooting the lights out from 3, yeah, I know maybe you're limiting their possessions to an extent, but you're giving yourself less opportunity to score as well. So I think sometimes that slow pace actually hurts the team. But his explanation the other day that he does it for personnel reasons kind of makes sense. He's got a couple guys in Harlan Obioha and Jasper Floyd that aren't super athletic as far as running up and down the court. It's not really what they do well. So he when they're in the game, he has to be careful about it. So I sort of understand that. But he also talked about how it's what he likes to do. But he doesn't necessarily want to go as slow as they've been going, if that makes sense. But so, yes, I do disagree with that at times, but, man, most of the things he does works. But when your 2 top scorers score a total of 11 points in the game and only 5 of those are from the floor and the other 6 are from the free throw line, not a good recipe to win a basketball game. And they were a combined 1 of 11 from 3. Not a winning formula when the other team shoots at 54% from 3, and their best players are going 3 of 6, 3 of 7, 4 of 5 from downtown. Not a winning recipe. But yet they still only lose by 7. They got outscored in this game. They got outscored 39-6 from 3-point range. 39-6. Think about that for a minute. And free throw shooting, they got outscored by, well, they actually didn't get outscored. They outscored Texas Tech, but had they shot the ball better from free throw line, they win the game. You get outscored 39-6 from 3-point range, and you still lose by 7. That's pretty darn good coaching, in my opinion. But I want to get off that soapbox for a minute. Some of you may disagree, and I will get to the comments here momentarily, but first I wanted to talk about some of these stats. But So that's the first thing off my chest is Ross Hodges' coaching. I thought was good in this game. He was not the reason they lost, in my opinion. You look at obviously the shooting. It all came down to shooting, in my opinion. I mean, I made a comment on X and I got chastised for it by one idiot saying I was stating the obvious, which maybe I was, but again, it's my Twitter account. I can state what I want to state. But I said basically, if they're going to continue to shoot this way in the second half, they're unbeatable. You're not going to beat a team who shoots 73% from three. I don't give a darn who you are. And that, they didn't shoot the ball quite as well, but they still end up at 54% for the game, which is still darn good from three-point range. It's hard to beat a team when they shoot the ball that well. But that being said, if West Virginia helps himself at all and makes two more three-pointers and a free throw, they're tied. So even with that poor shooting, they had a chance in the end. Or even with Texas Tech's great shooting, rather, they had a chance in the end. It all comes. West Virginia just continues to struggle to score the basketball. And in this game today, I felt like offensively, as far as their ball movement, I felt the ball movement was better. They did a better job getting to the lane and finishing around the rim. I thought Harlan Obioha did pretty good today in this game. He started off the game a little slow, I thought, on both ends of the court. But as the game went on and he got into the flow, he played much better. So hats off to him. But just overall, I thought they looked more connected offensively. Still like to see a little more movement without the basketball. Still a few more possessions where I thought they dribbled the ball too much. The biggest thing was Texas Tech just took Honor Huff out of the game, and nobody else could make their outside shots. And I think Texas Tech's strategy was, we're going to give these guys some penetration. There were a few times, honest to gosh, I thought they were letting West Virginia score. It almost looked like they were letting them score as far as layups and driving it to the rim, but they were willing to do that and not give up three-pointers. I think that was Texas Tech's game plan today. And it worked because they knew, hey, if we take Honor Huff out of the game, you've got Eagle Staff who can hurt us too. They took him out to a degree, but he was just missing shots. He's been inconsistent. He was off his game today. And they were going to try to we're taking Honor out of the game. We're going to try to make somebody else beat us. And like this team has done for most of the year, nobody else was able to do that. And that's just going to continue to be a struggle for this team. It just is. It's just teams have figured out how to take Honor Huff. West Virginia loves to run him off ball screens. One thing I did disagree with, though, even though I gave Ross Hodge praise, one thing I thought he should have put Honor Huff at point guard more in this game. It worked against Cincinnati, and I know Texas Tech's a better team than Cincinnati, but I thought he should have tried it more in this game. Now, maybe he'll explain that in his post-game presser, but which I'm obviously doing the show before that post-game presser happens. But I just would have loved to have seen Honor with the ball in his hands, playing on the ball more in the game. And I'm not sure why he didn't. But nonetheless, they were keeping Honor Huff from scoring the basketball. They did a good job doubling him off ball screens. And West Virginia was just unable to get him in a rhythm, get him going at all in the game. But so that was number one. And then again, nobody else stepped up. Eagle Staff was not hitting. He was his inconsistent self today. The young man he's a great young man, but he's got to be more consistent. If both of those guys aren't scoring, it's going to be really hard for them to win. I mean, you saw even in the Cincinnati game, until Honor Huff got hot in the end, they were going to lose that game. It's a ride or die with Honor Huff right now with this team offensively, and that is a problem. They're going to have to figure out other ways to score. They did that to a degree today with inside with DeLorient, inside to Obioha a few times. Chance Moore got a few buckets inside. But teams are going to give that to them, man. If you're not going to hit threes, it's basically what Texas Tech said, okay, we're going to trade you a 3 for a 2. That was their strategy, it almost appeared. I don't know if that was intentional, but that's what it ended up being. Our 3 to your 2, and we're going to beat you every time. And it worked. And then the free throw shooting by West Virginia continues to be absolutely abysmal. And that's not Ross Hodges' fault. I see people on Facebook, they need to practice free throws. You don't think they do? I guarantee you they practice free throws. There's not a basketball coach in America that don't make his team practice free throws. I guarantee you Ross Hodges didn't get to where he's at by not making his guys practice free throws. They're just not making them. Maybe he recruited guys who weren't good free throw shooters. I don't know. I didn't follow these guys earlier in their careers. But I guarantee you they're practicing free throws. I mean, we remember Bob Huggins used to always say, I make my guys make 100 free throws before they end every practice. Make 100, not shoot, make. And they still sucked at free throws a lot. So a lot of free throw shooting is mental. You get up to the line, you've got to have confidence that the ball's going to go in. And there was a time I saw Chance Moore make a free throw, and it's almost like he was shocked that it went in. It bounced around a couple times, bounced in, and I know sometimes those kind of shots, man, is that going to bounce out? But it's almost like they were shocked to see the ball go through the net. That's how bad this team is at shooting free throws. And again, they were able to shoot more free throws, or make more free throws rather, than they made the same amount of free throws their opponent attempted, which they've continued to do game in, game out. But yet West Virginia only shoots 57%. They're 13 of 23 from the free throw line. If you just say you make 2 more free throws, you're 15 of 23, and you make a couple more three-pointers where you were 2 out of 22, you win the basketball game. Think about that. You shoot, my gosh, even they shot horrid from 3. You shoot bad from 3 and average from free throw line, you win the game. You held Texas Tech to 70 points. That's pretty darn good. That high-powered offense, you held them to 70. Yes, they shoot 23 of 48 from the floor and 13 of 24. 13 of their 23 shots were threes. So you held them to 70. You did not play terrible. You didn't play great defensively, but you didn't play terrible. You should be able to, if you hold Texas Tech to 70, you should be able to win the game. But once again, West Virginia's offense continues to be a problem. And today, it was just not making shots. 9% from three-point range. 9% is what West Virginia shot today. And several of them were air balls. I mean, I don't know how you fix that. I mean, sometimes guys go cold, but the entire team cold, as West Virginia fans, we get so frustrated. It goes, we talk about it on social media all the time, all the way back to Bob Huggins. His teams really shot the ball well. What is it about West Virginia teams that shoot the ball poorly, especially in sometimes in big games? It's so freaking frustrating. So frustrating. But you shoot the ball decent today, you win this basketball game. That's how bad it was. You just shoot average, you win the game. From 3, and from the free throw line. Just horrible. Points off. West Virginia had an advantage in points off turnovers, total rebounds, offensive. West Virginia had 9 offensive rebounds to Texas Tech's 2 and had 12 second chance points to Texas Tech's 2. You should win games when you do that. I'm sorry, I'm going on a rant here a little bit, Anna. My emotions coming out in me. Hey, one of my mottos is this: you get objective analysis from the passion of a fan, and I'm showing that right now. I'm sick and tired of watching a team that cannot make freaking free throws and shoots 2 of 22 from 3. It's just baffling. The effort's there. I applaud their effort, man. They're playing their butts off. You see them hustling back on defense. They never give up. They play hard until the final horn. And they seem to be great young men, but my gosh, can you please make a free throw? Somebody besides Honor Huff, look at these free throw numbers. Brendan Laureate 1 of 2. Huff was 6 of 6. Harlan Obioha 3 of 7. Not acceptable. Amir Jenkins 0 for 2. You're a guard, man. 0 for 2 is not acceptable. And I know it's only 2 shots, but still. I'm looking at three-pointers. I'm sorry. Let's look at no, it wasn't. No, that was right. 3 of 7 for Harlan. 3 of 8 by Chance Moore. 3 of 8. Chance Moore continues to be a liability at the free throw line. He's great at driving the ball to the rim, but he gets fouled a lot. I haven't looked, but I bet you if I look at the numbers outside of Honor Huff, he's probably second on the team in free throw attempts. And he shoots 3 of 8. Obioha 3 of 7. They only had 4 guys shoot free throws. Moore, Obioha, Huff, and Lorient. But just as a team overall, they continue to be bad from the free throw line. Huff's, again, he did his part, but nobody else did. It's just not acceptable. In the three-point shooting, Eagle Staff was 1 of 5. Huff was 0 of 6. Jenkins, I mentioned him, he was 0 of 2. Moore was 1 of 2. He's not even a three-point shooter. Lorient 0 for 2. Floyd 0 for 2. Just horrible. And then on the other side, I mean, my gosh, Anderson, 3 of 7 from 3. Petty, 3 of 6 from 3. Atwell, that guy couldn't miss. 4 out of 5 from 3. Even Toppin was 2 out of 4 from 3. Just, I mean, but yet you still could have won the game had you just made a few free throws and a couple more three-pointers. I mean, that's it. There's not a lot to talk about. I can almost end the show right there. That's the difference. That is the difference. Now, Texas Tech had 17 assists to West Virginia's 10, so they did a better job moving the basketball. But outside of that, man, West Virginia played good enough to win this game in several categories. Just can't you can't shoot the ball that poorly and win a lot of games in the Big 12. You just can't. Not from shoot it poorly from outside, I should say. Just unreal, man. That's really the breakdown right there. Obioha played his butt off today. I thought you look individual at his stats. He had 9 points and 7 rebounds. And one thing Obioha does that doesn't get talked about enough, and the announcers mentioned it briefly on the broadcast, but he does a really good job sealing off guys. Like he's boxing out a guy, but he'll turn him and seal him off so that his teammate can penetrate to the basket. He does things like that really well. You know, I've criticized Obioha a lot, and I thought he was outmatched in this game athletically, but he did not let that stop him. He had a decent game today. He even had a block shot. Only turned it over one time. So he did not play a bad game at all. And then you have Lorient was 21 points, 5 rebounds. He was really the spark offensively that they needed. Had 3 steals to go along with that, so he played a really good game defensively. Also had a block. Jasper Floyd had 10 points on 5 of 8 shooting from the floor, most of those inside. West Virginia points in the paint today. West Virginia played well. And then see Huff with 6 off from the free throw line. Eagle Staff with 5. Amir Jenkins had 2 points, but I thought he played well there early in the game. Was doing a good job taking care of the basketball, getting was doing some scoring a little bit there early, or scored a bucket there early when West Virginia needed it. Texas Tech, it looked like early on they were going to jump out way ahead of West Virginia, and Amir Jenkins was able to kind of calm the waters with that little mid-range jumper. But I thought he did some things. DJ Thomas had a rough day. No points, 0 of 3 from the floor, 0 of 3 from 3. Just his shots were not even close. And then Chance Moore had 10 points off the bench with 6 rebounds. So he had himself, outside of his poor free throw shooting, he had a good day. Just you've got to do better. Just I get tired of talking about it. I harp on it. And I said in my last show, at some point, the poor free throw shooting was going to cost him a game, and this today, it was a huge part of it. It's a huge part of it. I mentioned some of the scoring for Texas Tech as far as their rebounding goes. The rebounding, Anderson had 13 points. Petty had 11. Atwell had 15. JT Toppin still had 22 points today. 9 total rebounds, 7 of those defensively. And he had their only 2. No, he had their only 2 offensive rebounds. He also had a block and a steal. Now he did turn it over 3 times, but otherwise he played a really good game. The offense runs through him as it should, and they were double teaming him, leaving those shooters open. Texas Tech's just a dangerous team, man. It's Ross used the strategy. I'm going to double team inside, force them to shoot threes. But the thing is, that kind of played into their hand because they're a good 3-point shooting team. But the problem is, can West Virginia's guys play one-on-one, mano a mano with Texas Tech's guys? And apparently he didn't, down low, maybe he didn't think so. So and it didn't look like he pulled off of that strategy in the second half much either. So, but nonetheless, he employed, he said, we're going to make them beat us from 3 on our floor. They were able to do that. Texas Tech's a good team with talented guys. JT Toppin, one of the best players in the country, and he showed it today. 22 points, 9 rebounds, one rebound away from a double-double. So hats off to him. He's a great player. All right. Let's get over to the chat, see what you all have to say. Thanks for hopping in here. Got Raven Grady's in the house. WVU Fan 13 says, ridiculous, got to make foul shots and run a quicker set on offense. America First WV's in the house. John Kelly says, the guys played hard, but yeah, foul shooting and all that, but I'm proud of them. Yep. Daniel Sargent, completely sick and tired of Ross Hodge doubling. It's disgusting and embarrassing. You win this game by 10 plus if you don't double. Yes and no, Daniel. Do you really think JT Toppin can be guarded one-on-one by anybody on this West Virginia team? Because I don't. Now, they were not just doubling him. They were doubling other people too. But had their rotations been quicker in the first half, I'm not sure the result's there. But I do understand your point. Was that a good strategy against a team like Texas Tech? Maybe not. You know, we knew coming in they'd like to shoot three-pointers. It was what they do. But maybe he just didn't have enough faith in his guys to guard. Now, I shouldn't say not faith in his guys. Maybe he just felt like Texas Tech was too good of a team talent-wise to guard them one-on-one. I don't know. Hopefully somebody will ask him that in the press game. But I do understand your frustration, and it did I would have liked to have seen him change it up a little bit later in the game and not double as much, but he didn't. But again, back to offense. If West Virginia makes a couple more free throws and 2 3-pointers, they win the game. Think about that. Swabby G in the house, a.k.a. Appalachia Africa Twin, says, no fan likes a loss. However, for a complete new team and first-year coaching staff, I love the fight and hustle I saw against a better team. Amen, brother. I agree with you. I'm not even super mad about it. I kind of expected this today. I kind of expected it, to be honest with you. I actually considered going to this game today. Of course, at the time, I didn't know it was Super Bowl Sunday, but I chose not to. Glad I didn't with the weather outside and all that. Probably wouldn't have been the best game to go to for me having to travel so far. And plus, honestly, I can't do post-game shows if I'm not here. But I chose not to go, and because I kind of had a feeling this was going to happen. To be honest with you, they played better than I expected them to play today. I thought Texas Tech would run West Virginia out of the gym today. I really did. So they had a shot late in the game to actually tie it or win. Luke Armercall says coaching was good. You literally can't do anything about 10 for 14 from 3. Daniel Sargent disagrees. He thinks the doubling was part of the reason. Maybe so. WVU Fan 13 says this loss isn't on Hodge. He can't make shots for his players. The only thing he did wrong was the slow pace when you're down 14 with 8 minutes. Yeah, that part I disagreed with him on. You needed to show more urgency. I thought down the stretch, I didn't think they showed enough urgency on the offensive end. Not saying you got to force bad shots, but I don't know, man. It's just that slow pace it irritates me. I guess I like offense. I don't know. I shouldn't say I like offense because I don't even watch the NBA because they don't have enough defense. But I don't want them running I don't want them running the court and shooting it and running back down the court. You know what I'm saying? But at least run the ball up the court, show some urgency, run more sets. I don't know. Do something that looks like you're actually running an offense. Luke says, so Coach Hodge is the one shooting the threes. Some of y'all just hate to hate. Trey Edwards in the house. Then you let Toppin cook. Luke, I agree with you, man. I think if JT Toppin is not, I don't know that there's a player on West Virginia's team that can guard him one-on-one. I think I said that earlier. I love Arlen Obioha's energy. I love his passion. I like some of the things. He's good at sealing guys off. He's a great passer, but he is not athletic enough to guard JT Toppin down low. He can't do it. I mean, JT still got 22 today, even doubling him a lot of times. He's just too good. And I'm not trying to talk crap about our guys. It's just the fact of the matter that he's that freaking good. Texas Tech is a really good basketball. They are, in my opinion, I think they have a shot to make a deep run in March. I don't think they're a national championship team. I think Arizona and Houston are the 2 national championship contenders out of the Big 12. Maybe Iowa State, but I think it's more so Arizona and Houston. But They could make a Elite Eight run, maybe even a Final Four run. Who knows? But I personally, I think they're more of a Sweet 16, Elite Eight team. West Virginia's not, guys. West Virginia's probably not going to make the NCAA tournament. I think they're going to be close. They're probably going to win 18, 19, might hit 20 wins, but their 20 wins are going to be against mostly bad teams, which is why I think it won't be enough to get them in. Unless you beat BYU at home and pull off and beat UCF at home and pull off a road win you're probably not supposed to pull off, I don't think they're getting in. I really don't. But Texas Tech has a chance. They're going to get in and can make a deep run. When a team can, they're just so daggone good offensively, and we all saw, look what they did to Honor Huff, what they did to him defensively. If they can do that to other teams too and shut down their best player, and their guys can shoot the way they shot it today, they're going to win a lot of basketball games, potentially even in March. Mountaineer Max is in the house. Can we make a free throw other than Huff? Absolutely. Tanner Track's in the house. Thank you, brother. Tanner Track's Premier. He says, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Eagle Staff is the wild card. If Huff isn't able to shoot, then Eagle Staff has to work harder at getting good open shots. I don't know. Trayson, to me, the last couple of games has not been aggressive enough. I'm not sure why. I mean, we see games when you can tell early on in the game, is Trayson going to be aggressive or is he not? You can tell by the way his body language. When he gets the ball in his hands, watch him and see what he does. If he's hesitant, like he doesn't know what to do, or not really know what to do, but I don't want to say scared, but he's hesitant to shoot the ball, then I'm like, he's not going to be aggressive today, and he's not going to score a lot of points. So Honor better be hitting. And he wasn't the last couple games for whatever reason. He just wasn't. Trayson Eagle Staff needs to be that dog you were last year at North Dakota, man. Get the ball, try to attack the rim, shoot it. And I know his shot wasn't falling today, but there were a few times I thought he could have attacked the rim and didn't even attempt to. So I would love to see him be more aggressive, especially when Honor's not hitting his shots. I'll be honest with you. This is totally my opinion, but I don't think Trayson Eagle Staff is really made. I don't think his game is suited to a Ross Hodge style the offense that Ross Hodge is playing right now. I think he's better in a more fast-paced, aggressive style offense. Now, I'm not saying Hodge is holding him back because I'm sure he's wanting him to be more aggressive at times, but when you play that type of offense and you're a player, you're wanting to do the right thing. You're wanting to get your teammates involved or whatnot, and you might have a tendency to be too unselfish, and I think that's what Trayson's doing at times. DeVries struggling to get Indiana. That's one thing that gives us Mountaineer fans a little bit of silver lining to all this mess, right? Got John in the house, John C. In one go. We've got Daniel. I mentioned Daniel. Tosh Miller's in the house. So since Huggins became coach, we've been a bad free throw team most years. I agree, but this might be the worst. I haven't went back and looked at the percentages, but this has got to be one of the worst. I mean, there's been multiple games this year where this team has shot like barely over 50% from the free throw line. I mean, that is abysmal, absolutely abysmal. And the guys getting fouled are your bad free throw shooters for them, except for Huff. Silva Mark WV in the house says, I actually thought they played pretty. TT shooting great from three. We shot very bad. They play like that the rest of the year. I'm happy. Mark, that's exactly what I brought out of this game. I was not even mad. Obviously, I'm disappointed when they lose, but they played a pretty darn good game today. Overall, they just shot the ball terribly. Shooting was the difference in today's game. They rebounded it well. I thought their defense was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't as good as it needed to be, obviously, because they gave up too many open looks. But some of that credit just goes to Texas Tech for making shots. But again, I'm going to say it for the 543rd time. Don't know where I got that number from. I pulled that out of thin air. But West Virginia makes 2 threes and 2 free throws. They win the game. 2 more threes and 2 more free throws. They win the game. And I know that's easy math. And I know I'm stating the obvious. But when you look at the numbers and obviously watch the game like we all did, most of us here did, that's what you take away. You held Texas Tech, a really good offense, a high-scoring team, to 70 points. You should be able to win that. I gotta step away for a second. Sorry about that. My phone was ringing. I was making sure it wasn't an emergency. All right, because it's rang twice since I've started my show. Sorry about that, y'all. Beauty of live television, right? Beauty of live television. Luke says, Daniel Sargent, if we had it had left top and one-on-one, you would have clamored for a double team. I love the passionate discussion in the chat, y'all. Everybody has a right to their opinions here. I may disagree. Luke says Ross runs a great defense. Eight Raven says amen. Couz. Trey Edwards, Harlan, and Belo played great. The women are 20-5, Raven. I gotta talk about that. Women's basketball team sitting at 20-5. They were the first Big 12 team to get to 20 wins. Shout out to them. They have a legit chance to go win the Big 12. Ian Flake's in the house. Ian, thanks for stopping in, man. That's a name that I don't recall seeing in the past. Maybe I've just looked over it, but Ian says it's crazy that better execution and mathematics is the difference between number 13 and number 63 net. It's a great comment, man. John Kelly says for future games, they figured out how to make cuts and score more than 60 points. So hopefully they will do that some of these next games. Yes, this is one of the best games I've seen as far as them getting to the rim. Now, some of that might have been Texas Tech's defensive philosophy. But I think some of it was just West Virginia making that, okay, we're not hitting our outside shots. They're taking honor out of the game. So let's try to get in the paint. And they did that. And West Virginia's got some really good passers with Obioha and Lorient, and even Huff and the guards are good passers. I don't think they have anybody that's an elite passer per se. I think Amir Jenkins has a chance to be one, but he's not there yet. But they do a good job passing the ball, and today they did a good job passing the ball and cutting to the rim. Raven Grady says the women's team is looking great, like watching them. That was from WVU Fan 13. DRPIV in the house says Huff, Eagle both off, hard to beat anyone. Agree. Totally agree. Alan, what's up, Alan? Thank you for stopping in, my man. Raven says Eagle staff gets into his own head and starts overthinking. Allen says Eagle staff lacks confidence. I think at times he does, and he shouldn't because he's a really good basketball player. Mike Young says they played hard, could have won, lost to a very good team. Agree. Y'all, this is year one, man. It's going to take some time. Give Ross time to get his type of guys, and they're coming next year. Miles Sadler, Al Doom, Kingston Whitty. They're talking to some other kids. Give him time. If you can keep Amir Jenkins, you can keep DJ Thomas, you can keep Jaden Forsyth. Those are three great building blocks. Then you bring in Sadler and Deume and Whitty. You've got your six guys right there. You fill the rest of the roster out through the transfer portal, and you might have a pretty darn good basketball team next year. So let's be patient. Let him bring his types of guys in. And I think Ross Hodge can win at West Virginia. I really do. Bob Huggins even said it, guys. Bob Huggins said the other day at his fish fry, he thinks West Virginia will get to another Final Four. And he thinks Ross Hodge is doing a great job. That's one of the winningest basketball coaches of all time. Now, maybe he felt like he had to say that. I don't know. But the Final Four comment, I don't think he had to make. But he did anyway. And Bob Huggins, I think he knows a thing or two about coaching, and I think he knows a thing or two about what it takes to get there. He's done it twice. And he can look at this team and see how talented or whatever that they are and know how good of a job Hodge is doing. So keep that in mind. Seymour's in the house. He says, absolutely unacceptable for Huff and Eagle staff to shoot 1 of 10 from 3. Even worse to go 12 of 21 or whatever from the free throw line. 100%. G. Smyrna's in the house. Says, I think too much dribbling and one-on-one and not enough passing to be to the open player and passing up open shots and trying to take a harder shot. 100%. Henry of Scallots, paid VIP member in the house, says just got out of the Coliseum. The crowd only got excited on maybe 2 occasions. It was a weirdly lethargic atmosphere. Just couldn't get anything going and sustain it. Yeah, and I think the game, because it was West Virginia didn't really make the game close enough, in my opinion. Other than that one run at the first start of the second half when they cut it within 8, that was really the only time, as far as watching it on television, that I heard the crowd get into it. So that's a great observation, Henry. And thanks for sharing that from inside the Coliseum or just outside the Coliseum. By the way, I do want to remind you, for those of you who are not paid VIP members, if you're able to, it's an easy way to support the show. It's only $2.99 a month or $4.99 a month, depending on what level. For the $4.99 a month levels, which I call club level, I have put out a few videos, few short videos just for them. I'm going to try to do more of that over time. You also get early access to some content, and you get merch discounts, things like that. There's also a Discord I set up for my club level members. So there are extra perks for being a club level member. And of course, all members get first dibs, first priority in chats. And you get the random video shout outs during videos, random VIP shout outs during videos. Daniel Sargent says 17 games this year. West Virginia's had a 70% or worse free throw percentage in a game. That is beyond bad. Amir Jenkins, 24-46 this year, 54% from free throws. Yes, that's terrible. You're a point guard. You have to shoot better than that, Daniel. I totally agree with you, man. A point guard has got to shoot better because, especially when you're Amir Jenkins, his style of play, he likes to dribble the ball to the rim, right? So he's probably going to get fouled a lot. Tosh says Chance needs more minutes. He's the best rebounder on the team and draws fouls better than anybody else. Tosh, I don't disagree with the more minutes comment, but the fouls comment, he draws fouls, but he's not making his free throws, man. He might be the worst free throw shooter. I haven't looked at the numbers, but he might be one of the worst on the team in free throw percentage. But I do agree that he needs more minutes. And I'll be honest with you, as much as I like Trace and Eaglestaff, I think I would give Chance a few more of his minutes. Especially with a team like this they need an offensive spark, man. And Trayson, he's either on or off. He's either hot or cold. There's not a lot in between with him. And at least Chance gives you that extra element where he can penetrate to the rim. But not really anybody else on the team who can do it like he can. So I do agree with that part of your statement. Luke says, thanks, Alan. Since we've gotten you guys out of the way, looking forward to seeing you if you guys can win it all this year. I'm assuming Alan is a Texas Tech fan. Thank you. I'm assuming that's the case. No, a Houston fan. Says sorry, I had to blow your picture up or put your comment on the screen to see your profile picture to see what team you cheered for, Alan. Thank you for stopping in the chat, my man. You guys have a chance to go win it all. I hope you do. Luke says, I love Big 12 hoops. Great games every night. By the way, I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but they were interviewing Brett Yormark the other day during a game, and he said sometime in the next few days, probably Tuesday, they had a very big announcement coming that was going to be the first time in college basketball, at least, that you're going to hear this announcement. He obviously didn't let the cat out of the bag, did not say what it was, but apparently it's going to revolve around the Big 12 tournament, is my understanding. So be on the lookout Tuesday of this week for some kind of major announcement coming from the Big 12. The guys over at Big 12 Radio Big 12 Radio and Big 12 Studios on their morning show said that it's going to change college sports. So I don't know what that means, but there's something big coming, apparently, from the Big 12 early this week in a couple days. Luke says the SEC tries to act like they are the best, but ain't close. We got sport fans in the house. Says, was at the game and left around 8 minutes left. Could not make a shot, but hope next year with the talent coming in will be better. Thank you, sports fans, for stopping in the chat. I like the way you spell that. Daniel Sargent wants to get UConn to the Big 12. I would not have an issue with that. I would not have an issue with it. It would make the basketball even more exciting. Now, a lot of people don't want UConn because of the football, but I think, man, UConn has been playing better football as of late. They don't get talked about a ton because their football program is, where they're independent and they're kind of off the radar, but they've been playing pretty well. Unfortunately, they lost their coach, Jim Mora, to go to Colorado State of all places. So that makes me wonder if is Connecticut not investing in football like they should. But nonetheless, I would not hate having UConn in the Big 12. I think it would help out. It would give West Virginia another closer trip. Not super close. UConn's still 500 miles or something from Morgantown, but it would be closer than most of the other places they have to travel to. Jacob says he needs to play Forsyth. I don't know, man. Maybe, but I haven't, without seeing him play every day at practice, I couldn't answer that. I'm assuming there's a reason he don't feel he's ready yet. And 2, he can redshirt, I think, right? No, he can't either because he played games. But I guess he just feels he's not ready yet. But man, if he can at least be a great building block for next year. Sports Fans agrees with somebody. Drumwolf says the coaches need to change their defense, leaving players wide open. Don't put their arms up. Sports Fans agrees with him. So you guys are agreeing with what Daniel Sargent was saying earlier. He feels like they're double teaming too much, and I guess you guys agree. And again, I didn't love it. I didn't hate it at first. I would like to have seen him adjust a little bit, but again, you leave JT Toppin one-on-one with Harlan Obioha. I don't think that's a great move either. I don't know, man. It's a catch-22. Of course, they were doubling guys other than Toppin, though. Maybe you only double if it's Toppin. But now that's a strategy you can try. You only double JT Toppin, let everybody else play one-on-one, maybe. But again, I don't think defense was the issue in this game. I really don't. I think it was offense. Couldn't make shots, period. Outside, you make shots, you win the game. It's that simple. As good as Texas Tech shot the ball, because of the way West Virginia rebounded the ball, had all those second chance points, all they had to do was make a few more shots and they win. Again, Captain Obvious, right? But sometimes that's all it is obvious. Sometimes the answer is an obvious answer. And in this game, it was make shots. How many times we hear Bob Huggins say it? Just couldn't make shots. I'm going to do my Bob Huggins impression. Couldn't make shots, Bob. How many times we hear that in postgame pressers? I mean, and I'm not trying to make fun of Hugs, by the way. I used to get a kick out of his postgame pressers. But it's what it came down to, right? Anyway. All right, well, listen. But, man, I've been on 42 minutes. Didn't even realize it. Thank you all. Pretty good, pretty active chat. Pretty good live show tonight. Not going to say it. Just remember to go over, check us out at wvsportschat.com at our website where we put up written content on the Mountaineers. Please check out the new WV Sports Chat YouTube channel. There will be a new show dropping tomorrow by Jersey Ear over there. Go check that out. Jonathan and I did our Golden Blue Breakdown show as well last week. So go check those episodes out at WV Sports Chat on YouTube. Used to be the Hoops from the Hills channel for those of you who followed that channel. We're going to try to cover more sports over there, but going to be a little different format than what you normally see here on this channel. Different hosts, different show types, those types of things. We're looking for, we're going to be adding hopefully another show or two to the lineup, but we're still trying to figure all that out. But right now, there's the Crossroads show by Jersey Ear. You may see me pop in on that show from time to time, and then you've got the Golden Blue Breakdown show with myself and Jonathan. And we're hoping, to add a few more, maybe sports-specific shows. Tosh Miller, thank you for the reminder. Please hit the like button. Don't forget, I got 63 people. I'm not looking at the screen to see how many likes I have, but I bet it's not enough. Please hit the like button. If you're watching live or on the playback, this time of year, views are way down for all of us, college football / sports creators, because it's not football season. So we need all the help we can get pushing the algorithm. The likes help. The comments help. Subscribing to the channel helps. If you have the option to hype the video down below on your mobile device, on the playback, you may see a hype button. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. If it's there, please hit that. All of that helps me. Please like the video. It's really simple and it's free to do. It's a thumbs up button just below it. All you have to do is click it. If you're on a phone, you hit it with your finger. You may have to close the chat out to do it. If you're watching live, close the chat box, hit the thumbs up, then you can open the chat box right back up. No big deal. And it doesn't cost you a penny. And if you're watching on the playback, it's already there for you to hit. Just press it. There's a subscribe button over on the other side. You can press that too. If you're watching us on TV, I'm sorry that you have to look at this mug on your television screen. But other than that, we appreciate you, and we hope you continue to support us. Take your remote control, whatever you do there, and hit that like button, please. And then also on a computer, move your little mouse around, because about 40% of our audience watches on TV, believe it or not. So who knew, right? Who knew that it was that popular to watch YouTube on TV? But apparently it is. And again, sorry that you got to see this bald chrome dome on your TV screen. All right. Thanks to everybody for hopping in. It was a great show. Appreciate all the comments. Even if I disagreed with it, I appreciate the back and forth conversation. All of that's great for the channel, and it makes this more fun. Thanks to all of you. I appreciate you guys. I love you. God bless you, and Q Country Roads.